Now at 5, with multiple fires raging through the state and the unceasing winds. The latest on our air quality conditions.
Plus, say goodbye to the smoking section at Rice Eccles Stadium. The big change, which is part of a tobacco-free policy.
And more than 1,500 acres burned in the Green Ravine fire, and it isn't over yet.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News at 5 starts now.
Good to have you with us. I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. Thank you for joining us here at ABC4 News at 5. We begin with the latest on the wildfires we've been tracking around the state today.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. We'll get live updates from the Snoqualmie Fire, but we begin with ABC4's Nicole Newman. She's live from the Green Ravine Fire in Tooele County. Nicole.
Glenn, Emily, 1,719 acres burned. That is the latest update here on the Green Ravine Fire. It is being driven by fast-moving winds, and we want to show you within the last hour we've been seeing heavier smoke up near the towers. Now, mind you, ABC4 does have a tower in this area, and we spoke to one of the engineers earlier today to try to get an idea on what they are seeing from there. And if you guys are still with us live, you can see the helicopter flying in, and they are flying in. There's 3 helicopters on this fire that are flying in and dropping water on both sides. They are coming from both sides to try to get a handle on this. Now, we do know that there's about 110 personnel that have responded to man, engine, hand, and hotshot crews, and again as well operate those 3 helicopters. From the air, several tankers are dropping fire retardant to hinder growth, and as I mentioned, they are trying to protect these television towers that are at the top of this mountain. And earlier this afternoon, I spoke to the engineer that is manning ABC4's tower to understand what the protocol is if he has to evacuate.
We would try to prep the building for any minimal impact of any fire, including smoke intake. Set it to where it could operate normally on its own, unmanned, and then we would evacuate the building from there.
Now, this fire is currently 0% contained. However, within the next couple of hours, we are expected to get an update from fire officials here on what those new containment numbers may be. That update is coming at 6:45, and when we have it, we will bring it to you on our website at abc4.com. Reporting live in Tooele County, Nicole Newman, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Nicole. Well, while homes in Tooele County remain safe tonight from the Green Ravine fire, some people with respiratory issues say they're struggling with all the smoke.
Yeah, experts say it's because wildfires emit the very same particulate matter found in winter inversions, and we all know how bad that can be. ABC4's Rosie Nguyen has the story.
Crystal Gordon loves the view of the mountains from her front yard, but today
you can see the smoke.
It was a different story.
Just walking across the street this morning to get my mail, I could just smell the smoke as soon as I came out of the house, and by the time we got back inside, I was starting to cough a little bit.
Gordon has asthma and is 7 months pregnant with her second child. Her first child wasn't very happy about today's change of plans to stay inside.
She really likes to play outside, and so it's actually kind of making her mad because I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom can't go outside because Mom can't breathe right now.
Experts say those living near the Green Ravine fire with heart and lung problems will be impacted the most by the smoke. That's because wildfire smoke contains the same particulate matters found in winter inversions.
Your body's natural defenses against breathing those things in can't filter out those really fine particulates, so those are getting in your lungs and causing some problems.
He says it's best to keep all doors and windows shut, limit your time outside, and if possible, move physical activities indoors.
Good rule of thumb is that you're going to want, if you can smell the smoke, then levels are starting to reach a point where it's impacting your health.
Reporting in Tooele, Rosie Nguyen, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Rosie. An update now on the Snoqualmie Fire burning east of Layton. At one point, dozens of homes were thought to be in the line of fire, and tonight, it is still 0% contained.
Crews continue battling there again in today's heat. ABC4's Nick McGurk live with the very latest. Hey, Nick.
Hey, we just spoke to officials here. They're telling us they do expect some containment numbers to rise, but as of now, 0% containment. I want to show you just how close this Snoqualmie fire got to homes. About 200 yards, we're told, although when you look at the burn scar behind the home here in Layton behind me, it sure does look a lot closer than that. About 128 acres have burned. We know 0% containment at this hour. Folks have been let back into their homes, but this is certainly the time of day that firefighters are monitoring closely. Winds can pick up, the fire can spread, and that's why we have seen a lot of Forest Service crews driving through neighborhoods here. One huge issue for firefighters, they are dealing with the possibility of dehydration, snakes and steep terrain, and another issue, bees.
So one of the things that's been kind of difficult for our firefighters, for whatever reason this year, there's a lot of bees. So we've had a lot of bee stings. They're the kind that live in the ground, and they come out, so when they're up there digging around, doing their thing.
Back live here in Layton. No bees right in front of me, at least right now, but I can show you a very common sight in this neighborhood. These yellow fire hoses connected to fire hydrants. It is as if crews don't want to take any chances. They know how close the fires got to homes like this, and we've seen at least a half a dozen hoses in this neighborhood that are still hooked up in case this fire spreads even more. For now, we are live in Layton. I'm Nick McGurk, ABC4 News.
Thank you so much, Nick. Well, outside of all the lives and the property that's affected by these wildfires along the Wasatch Mountain, the wildlife is, of course, being impacted as well.
Yeah, larger wildlife in game, things like deer, moose, can often be displaced due to larger fires, which we saw happen quite a bit last summer. The Division of Wildlife Resources says there is an upside for animals when it comes to higher elevation fire seasons.
If it's burning at 7,500 feet elevation or higher, that can actually be quite beneficial for a lot of our big game species because it'll burn out a lot of the old, growth and trees and things and makes room for more new kind of growth that our, elk, our deer really benefit from.
But what happens with a fire season like the one we're having this year? On ABC4 News at 6, meteorologist Alana Brophy looks at the impacts low elevation fires have on Utah's wildlife.
All right, now turning for a look at the weather this evening.
Yep, meteorologist Dan Pope joining us with the first look at our forecast. And Dan, the question we're wondering is, will we get any moisture anytime soon?
Yes, we will. If we don't see rain here in the next 2 days, we will see rain on Sunday. But I have to show you, first of all, a look at that fire off in the distance. My goodness, this is an incredible fire. Now watch as it blows up. It almost looks like a volcano. The heat from the fire, do you see that right in there, right there? That is an extremely volatile fire. When the heat hits, when the up mountain winds blow, and then all of a sudden you get what looks like a volcanic explosion, and now apocalyptic colors across the valley as the sun moves through the smoke from our vantage point on the JD Byrider camera. Now, will we see any rain tonight? That's the question. Well, a little bit. Will we see relief from the air quality? Well, we have seen it in Davis County. It's now yellow. It was orange. Orange in Salt Lake County as well. Green across the south. Now, temperatures on the fire line are 87 degrees. Now, mind you, we have the ability to take the latitude, longitude, and specifically put it right on the fire. It's 87 degrees up there, south wind 7. So you know what that's doing? That's pushing the fire over the ridge line and unfortunately, towards the TV towers. We've got to protect those, absolutely. I'll be back with some rain that will put this fire out in just a little bit.
All right, fingers crossed for that rain. Thanks so much, Dan. Today, we're getting our first look at the results of a mobile voting pilot program Utah County put to use for the municipal primary. The county clerk says it went well and thinks it can meet more needs in the future. Utah County was the first area in our state and only the third in the nation to put mobile voting to the test. The pilot project allowed residents living overseas to cast their vote for the recent primary through a mobile app.
It was absolutely a success. It went a little better than I had expected.
County Clerk Amelia Powers Gardner says an audit of the process shows 22 of 58 eligible voters took advantage of the option. That's a 38% turnout compared to a 25% turnout countywide. The mobile voters are residents of 7 of the 9 cities that held elections. And Powers says not one mobile vote was disqualified. Still, mobile voting raises big concerns. Phil Wright with Keep My Voice is skeptical.
I think the average voter is going to have to be convinced that it's safe, it's secure, and that their vote will count the way they cast it.
The company behind the project is well aware of the concerns and insists the system is safe and secure.
What we have seen is that if we can sit down with someone and carefully explain the security and related problems that have been addressed and solved, we win them over.
Wright says while he's not completely won over, he admits he is feeling better about it.
It seems pretty secure to me.
Powers Gardner says that's what the audit shows. She says it will be used again for the general in November, and she hopes to expand its use in the future.
We would like anyone who cannot make it to a polling location due to a disability to have the opportunity to cast their ballot.
You can actually audit the vote yourself as a citizen auditor. If you're interested in doing that, we have a link for you on our website, abc4.com.
And in a health alert this evening, the University of Utah is joining more than 1,800 colleges and universities nationwide and going 100% smoke and tobacco free. Rice-Eccles Stadium will no longer provide smoking areas during public events or Utah football games. So what does this mean for the Utah football fans? Well, unlike previous seasons, the smoking sections that they normally have located around the perimeter of the stadium, that'll all be gone. In addition, there will be no re-entry to the stadium. The policy also applies to the John Huntsman Center.
This is big news here. The White House allocating nearly $2 billion to fight the opioid crisis. Today, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar announcing that $932 million will go to state and local governments to provide treatment, recovery, and prevention. Another $900 million will go to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention over a 3-year period. In the announcement, Azar said drug overdose deaths were down 5% from 2017 to 2018, the first drop in decades. Well, Salt Lake County is one of those grant recipients, receiving $600,000 to the county. A new federal grant is helping children in southern Utah who are victims of crime recover from trauma. The Washington County Children's Justice Center receiving a $230,000 grant from the Victims of Crime Act. As early as next week, they'll place 2 trauma-informed therapists in the school district. The therapists will help students who are victims of sexual abuse, neglect, and domestic violence.
Kids who have been a victim of a crime or a traumatic incident need between 8 and 12 sessions of therapy to get over that trauma.
The Justice Center says the goal is to intervene as early as possible with child victims to help prevent even further trauma. In Salt Lake City now, one Utah woman has a new idea for your plastic grocery bags. She hopes to reuse them and help make a difference for Utah's homeless. Yesterday, the founder of Bags to Bed teamed up with 142 Smith's grocery stores in 7 different states. They're donating 600 volunteer hours to turn plastic bags, as you see here, into sleeping mats for the homeless. Caitlin McLean says her hope is to make enough beds to ensure everyone who needs one will have one. To read more or learn more about the cause, you can head to our website, abc4.com. Wow, what a great idea. Still ahead, the danger isn't over for some states waiting for Hurricane Dorian to make landfall. Plus, a new report detailing the trauma children go through when separated from their parents at the border.
And as we look outside, this is the Cedar City Southern Utah University Camera Network. Wow, we've got some dark clouds off in the distance. There will be some shower and thunderstorm activity this evening. I'll have the details and show you the Storm Tracker Doppler radar coming up.